You know, people think of a wrestling announcer, and they think of loud calls. They think of excitement. There's a lot more than just announcing wrestling matches. There have been many times when these pro wrestlers get into jams. And I've gotten plenty of wrestlers out of jams in my time as an announcer. Bobby Butterfield called me one night. Usually, Bobby's a pretty coherent man. That night, he was not very coherent. But I went down to see what all the fuss was about. I looked about the area, and he pointed. He pointed to a young lady. She looked like she was dead. So what do you do when you see a dead hooker? Well, you kick 'em. Not once, not twice, 3 times. 1, 2, 3, like a pinfall. She didn't move, so we knew what was next. We rolled her up in a rug. High quality fiber for a high quality hooker. Next thing I did is I put her in the trunk. Then from there, we rode around a little bit. We didn't know really where to go. We had to find somewhere far out into the woods. It certainly wasn't a joyride. It became a hell ride, and let me tell you why. All I heard were the cop sirens. Woo, 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 woo. They were following us. I did the only thing a smart man could do. I increased the gas. We were going $1.50 down to 35. We took a sharp right. We went into a cornfield. The cops never had a chance. They just kept going along. And we went into that dreaded cornfield, and let me tell you what happened next in that cornfield. It's a sight that I'll never forget. We parked eventually. We took out the body, wrapped in the rug. I began to feel this kicking happening within the rug as I was holding the body. I said, Bobby, I don't think she's dead. And Bobby said, impossible. She's dead. And I looked at him like he had 8 heads. Because the body just fucking moved. I unraveled the rug with elegance that a killer could only perform. She was alive. She looked at me, she looked at Bobby, she said, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, I thought you were dead! What's a guy supposed to do? He takes the dead hooker, puts her in a rug, throws her in a cornfield! I felt really bad. I felt really bad. And then she looked at me and she said, RJ, I have narcolepsy. I said, you were fucking sleeping? She said, yeah. I said, you're fucking with me. She said, no, I'm not fucking with you, RJ. And then I cried myself to sleep, knowing that I took a hooker that was alive, thinking that she was dead, wrapped her in a rug, threw her in a trunk, and escorted her to a cornfield where crows would pick out her eyes and tits. As a wrestling announcer, it's just not announcing matches. It's the 3 a.m. phone calls that define you as a person, that define you as a man. Because I gotta keep the Federation afloat. You see, the commish puts a lot of stock in me, and I didn't want to let the commish down. Though eventually, I would let him down. And she wasn't really a hooker.
Hey, yeah. Exactly.
She worked in a circus.
Mm.
Yeah.